Denver Broncos lose in dramatic fashion to the Indianapolis Colts in Week 2, 29-28, after a missed field goal by the Indianapolis Colts and a leverage penalty by the Broncos that moved the Colts up 15 yards to a 45-yard field goal, ultimately icing the game. Welcome in, Broncos Country, to the Broncos Breakdown by Chat Sports. My name is Moose, a very disgruntled Moose at that, and in this episode, I'm going to break down exactly why the Denver Broncos lost this game. Spoiler alert, it had nothing to do with Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos offense, because they were outstanding outside of a few key plays here and there. Before I get into my rant, though, this is why you subscribe. Broncos wins, Broncos losses, everything in between. News, rumors, etc. I've got you covered. Hit the subscribe button. I promise you, you will love this Denver Broncos coverage, or you can unsubscribe after a week. That is my promise to you. Let's talk about this game, shall we? Because I thought that at the beginning of the game, the Denver Broncos showed grit, they showed tenacity, they showed fight, and they showed adjustments from week 1. Let's start with the offense, because that's the positive. I'll start positive and I'll end negative. Bo Nix was outstanding. Outstanding. Poise in the pocket. Decision-making was lights out. And outside of one bad interception throw, where he tried to scramble outside, do a little bit too much, loft the ball to Courtland Sutton, and throw in a pick, Bo Nix was excellent. Touchdown passes to Marvin Mims, to Troy Franklin, and to Adam Troutman. I thought Bo played his best game of the season. Granted, it's only been 2 games. If anybody thinks for a second that Bo Nix wasn't good today, you weren't watching the right game. Bo Nix was awesome. Tip of the cap to you. He gives an A-. Can't give him an A because of that one bad throw, but 22 of 30, 206 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. And ultimately, he was a major factor for the Broncos having majority of the lead for this game. I also thought the Broncos' run game was fine. It wasn't perfect, but it wasn't awful either. J.K. Dobbins averaged 5.4 yards per carry. If you would have told me at the beginning of this game that Dobbins was going to average 5.4 yards per carry, I would have said, hell, sounds like the Broncos win to me. He's been a great addition. Now, would I say that he's been all-pro? Was he as good as Jonathan Taylor today? No, he wasn't. But no one expected him to be. This Broncos run game is going to be just fine. Sean Payton's offensive play calling today, outside of maybe 2 or 3 plays here and there, I thought was awesome. So I give the Broncos grade an A. And let's talk about Troy Franklin, because he played his best game as a pro, in my opinion. His understanding of soft zones has been phenomenal. On one specific play, wasn't even his touchdown play, where Troy had a stop route, stopped in the flat, recognized Bo was getting flushed out of the pocket, flipped up the field, up the sideline, found the zone defense. Bo layers a ball in, caught, brought it in, inside the red zone, was perfection. It showed veteran-type route running ability. So I think for all intents and purposes, this offense gets an A. It does. Now, situationally, the interception, a couple of bad moments from Sean Payton, not calling a timeout. There's a lot that you can pick apart if you wanted to be nitpicky. But for the most part, Broncos fans should be very, very pleased with what they saw from this offense. And I'm going to ask you, what's your one-word reaction to this Denver Broncos loss? Disappointed? Disappointment from me? I mean, I'm going to tell you why the Broncos lost here in a second. But let me know in the comment section down below what your one-word reaction was to this Denver Broncos loss. Before I get into the real reason the Denver Broncos lost, I have to tell you about our friends over at Ethos. Listen, my kids are going to be coming very shortly. I've already been talking to the wifey about starting the family, and we are very, very excited for that. But that's why Ethos comes in handy. Life insurance is nothing to play around with, and Ethos can get you covered and protected in minutes with rates at less than $23 a month. Their 100% online process is revolutionizing the insurance industry. You can get protection for you and your loved ones in as little as 10 minutes. They've got no medical exams either. Just answer a few easy health questions online. Their 100% online hassle-free process makes it easy to apply. You can get same-day coverage without ever leaving your house. Protect your family with life insurance from Ethos. Go get your free quote right now at ethos.com/NFL Daily. That's ethos.com/NFL Daily. I will have all of that in the comments and description of today's video. One more time, ethos.com/NFL Daily. Shout out to Ethos in the comments and description of today's episode. So let's be clear. The reason the Broncos lost this game is because they gave up 470 yards to Daniel Jones and this Colts offense. I don't know what happened from last week, but they got picked apart by a second-rate quarterback. And don't tell me he's not a second-rate quarterback. His entire career, he's been that. But today he looked like Joe Montana. Today he looked like Peyton Manning. Today he looked like Andrew Luck. He was outstanding. His play-action ability shredded the Broncos from the moment the game tipped off. They couldn't stop it at all. And maybe that's because the threat of Jonathan Taylor is so great. But I got to tell you, if I'm going back and I'm watching this tape as the Broncos defense, if I'm Vance Joseph, I am laying into this Broncos secondary. Pat Surtain didn't even play well today. Michael Pittman Jr. carved him up. Jonathan Taylor, 165 rushing yards is insane. You've got to be better. From the defense that has been touted as the best in the NFL. It wasn't even close. Today sucked. Tyler Warren is another player that played out of his mind. The rookie from Penn State is absolutely a threat in not only the pass game, but the run game. He can block, he can catch, he can do it all. So I got to hand it to Shane Steichen and the Colts offense because they were awesome. A couple of players on the defense that I want to at least call out for a second. Let's start with John Franklin Myers, Mr. I need a new contract and I need it now. 1 tackle today. That's 2 on the season. Total. I don't want to hear about your knee injury. You played. You got to be better. 1 tackle. Almost no pressure. Not nearly good enough. And the box score might look good for Pat Surtain. 9 tackles, 1 PBU. But after his ankle injury, he wasn't the same. He was not the same. Wasn't even close. Riley Moss got cooked in 2-minute offense. Even in man coverage, Alec Pierce absolutely bodied him. It just wasn't good. This Broncos cornerback room got decimated by the pass, by play action, and every time Daniel Jones dropped back, it was a completion for another first down, another 8 yards, another 10 yards, another 12 yards. At some point, what you're doing isn't working. So figure it out. And that's on Vance Joseph. That's on your defensive coordinator. There was no pressure generated at all today. Maybe it's because the Colts offensive line is good. But it wasn't good enough today for the Broncos defense. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk, by the way. But if you want to win next week, first divisional game against the Los Angeles Chargers, who, by the way, have a quarterback that's a whole lot better than Daniel Jones, you got to be better. Grade the Broncos' performance versus the Indianapolis Colts. D on defense. F on defense. 470 yards is insane. Offensively, I got to give it an A. But so altogether, compact grade, C-. I mean, the bad outweighs the good in this case. It's 1 game. It's week 2. I get it. 29-28, though. Broncos should have won this football game. You played way too bad on defense, and that's why you subscribe. I'm going to give you honest Denver Broncos content all season long. So if you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button. I've got you covered. Thank you so much.